Okay, thank you all. Thank you for being part of this here, my first presentation, this Spark. So it is a pleasure, it's an honor to be here with you. And I'll bring to us a little discussion that I've been building for the last 20 years. So I've been through a lot of stuff and this journey, and I'd love to share with you. And the first thing that I really want to start this is that we need to believe in collaboration. So it is critical for us to believe that, because you see that it is impossible for us to even start thinking about creating something without help from everybody, without help from other people, without help from people that have different skills that we do have. And this is very important to me, and a little bit to you, a little bit about the last 20 years. So I'm talking about the early 2000s. So when a little bit of my journey when I start working as a company that works with cultural exchange programs. And what does that means? That we do have here and all over the place, all over the world, we have a lot of companies that send students, mostly students abroad. And this company called World Study is the place that people will start creating one new future for them. So what is that? They have programs just like study abroad, just like doing high school program abroad, colleges, language courses. For example, I spent in 2000, I went to New York. I spent there for 3 months. So to be part of an English course, to learn English as a second language. So it is important to us to be away from our native country, because we start thinking in another language. That's the way that people to connect with cultures. So we do have there also work and travel programs, international fairs, when we could connect employers from the US mainly to employees from Brazil to this program here. And also summer camps that we offer. Why I'm bringing this? Because this is the first step that I take to understand what how important it is to connect with different people, for us to believe that everybody is important to create that journey that we have. So this start bringing to me a little bit about transforming dreams into reality. So living for the first time away from the home. So it is important. In the US, it is usual when you get to college, the university. So you have to leave and you have to be in another place. Here in Brazil, it's not that common, that usual here in Brazil. The possibility for increasing your network as students or professional, and learning how to understand the different and how to deal the difference about culture. So that is the very important part of this journey that I had. So after 2005, I start working as a management consultant. So it is a company, international company based in Brazil, but they work in more than 30 countries all over the world. So it is very important for me to understand a little bit about expanding understanding of business, people, and markets, because I was talking about working in industries, financial services, steel companies, construction, retail, so a little bit about everything. But what this brought to me as a professional or as a human being, so how to use, for example, technology, methodology solving problems and reaching goals, for example. So a lot of companies have a lot of problems of revenues, of costs, of expenses, of processes. So they all have problems that we need to focus to use a methodology to be part of this. So having all this universe of companies. So we have different markets, you have different realities of each one. But what I figured out during all this period of working as a managed consultant, that pretty much the problems are pretty much the same, very similar between all of them. So it brought me to understand that the most important part of being a consultant is how to connect people. So the people that moves the company. So we had a lot of course, we think we're in the middle of a digital transformation, a technological transformation. So, but it is important for us to realize that as I work and I have a lot of contacts from presidents, for governors, for ministers, to the most with people, key people from operational staff. So we need to understand that skills, what they have to do. And for that, we created a methodology that said that we have 3 critical success factors that makes the company work fine. So we have leadership, we need to have leadership, we need to have technical knowledge, we need to have managerial knowledge. With those 3, we can move and we can change a lot of things about these companies that we have. And by 2010 or 2011, to be more precise, I started working as a management consultant, but as a partner. So I founded one company, one here from management consulting, and here in Brazil, but it's also an international company, but based in 4 countries all over the world. So in 3 different continents. So we have an office in Brazil, one in Switzerland, one in Colombia, and one in Australia. So what I was doing here was pretty much the same what I was doing, not as an owner, but I start to be the different model, because as a partner, I have to spend relationship and have greater responsibilities in an international company. So as owner, our responsibilities are even greater, because we need families that depends on you. So you need to bring a lot of the human contact into the relationship, and to bring it very unique and make the difference for them. So that's a part that we start to create it here. So as a team management, so we're dealing with the problems with all the clients that we have, but we have to deal manage to our teams, our contracts. So that is amazing what you start to create in order to start to engage your team and everybody that's working with you. So after that, so we're talking about, I'm still a partner of this company here in Brazil, but by 2015, I started to rethink in my life. So what was going on there? So I started to think, how can I change? Why? What is my purpose? Why I have to do this? Because we need to be aware that I couldn't live for the money, only for the money. I had to look for something that would make some sense to me. So I'm talking about this Japanese word that's called ikigai. So it's the reason for you to do something. And that brought me to rethink a little bit about what I was doing. So I started to think about, what about working for sports, for example. So because you need to start bringing a lot of passion. Of course, I had a lot of passion with everything that I was doing to help people through the management consultant, but something was missing. Was definitely missing. So I start to, how about in 2015? How about let's create something in soccer in Brazil, or football here in Brazil, right? So in soccer, it is, why soccer? Because it's a huge platform that moves millions. And by 2015, I start to create a project that will let me to have a team in the US. So I start working, I start thinking about how to create that team in the US. I went to USA to know what they are doing there. Why the USA? Because the USA, you have the most professional league that we have worldwide. So if you want to create something, some business that makes sense and that can you can focus only on the business, that's place is the USA. Of course, we have a lot of here in Brazil is amazing how can you can have tons and tons of athletes, of high level athletes here in Brazil, high soccer players, but in the US it was the point that I have to structure and to be clear that what I was building together. I was doing a lot of things, but at some point, I'm talking about 2017, music found me. And you will understand a little bit about what is going on, because one pop band from Brazil invited me. It was October of 2017 to be part of, help them to create something different, because they have the great music, they have a lot of things that are good, they have the appeal, but they were running out of shows, and they were planning about ended this project. No, they don't want to have a band anymore. So in October, I started helping them, and from December to I think May of 2018, we have 120 gigs here in Brazil. So they have nothing, but with all this collaborative environment that we created, they're musicians, they have to do the amazing things on stage, they have the power to do something different on stage. And I have some contacts here, so I put them together with a lot of people, so we can make them make more than 120 gigs in 5 months. So after this, we start to, okay, they're doing covers, that is nice, but we have to think the next step. So what about create their own songs? And we did it. We started doing that, and after 3 months creating, having a great great shows, all thinking about the great show that we're having. So we started to taking the band to Europe. So in October of 2018, we went to Europe. They stayed there for 2 months, and they had 20 gigs there. So we're talking about Germany, we're talking about England, and we're talking about Portugal. It was crazy. It was amazing how they could make this in a different country, different culture, how they can touch people with music. So music brought me something that I couldn't even imagine, because I'm not from the music industry. Of course, I've been through music, listening to music for all over the place, all over my entire life. I have a lot of brothers, a lot of songs, a lot of music during all this period of time. But when you start working with music and you start to figure out how music can move the world, so it starts making some sense to me. So something is going on here. And we planned after that. So we went to Europe. So after that, we went to USA. We have a one great show in San Diego, and we had to leave the USA to apply for a right visa for them to work in the US, and we went to Mexico. So that starts a whole new life in my career. So that we start to have a new goal. So I know that music is that powerful. I know that music can bring something different to our life. So how about our goal to reach millions of people? And we start working a lot to make it happen. And as you can see, I had a journey that is not usual, the journey, but in 2017, I can say that music found me somehow. I cannot play, I can play nothing, not even a doorbell. But in 2017, the music found me. And in 2019, when the band went to Mexico, I realized why music found me. And I started, as they cannot play in Mexico, we asked the band to start to raise the 100 bands from the indie pop scene in the US. They can create some materials, create some cover songs, create some remakes from their songs, and they did it. They raised 100 indie pop bands in the USA, and they start creating new material. The difference that I had with this band is that they have a lot of energy, they have a lot of power, they have a lot of, I don't know, it was different on stage. So they can move the audience, they can make them dance. So that is, for me, it was something incredible for me. And when they start doing that cover song for that 100 indie pop bands in the USA, I start to feel something different. So no, there's something wrong with it, because I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not feeling that energy that I used to feel with this band. So as a career to do a lot of analysis, I start to I pick up I stopped for a weekend and I started listening. I went to Spotify and I listened 500 songs. So the most popular songs for these 100 bands. And in 2 days, I listened to 500 songs. And for this, I need to put something different, to, for example, put a flag. So if this song brought me something good, I want to leave. I wanna dance. I don't know. It makes me happy. I would put a a green flag. If that song is not, I'm not talking about the lyrics, but about the how the impact of the songs, the impact of the song on me. If it's make me not mainly sad, but I want to be here on my bed. I want to be holding my pillow. I want to cry. So I put the feeling of red flags. If it's not that sad or not that happy, I'll put a yellow flag. So if we put some sauce into it, it can turn into the green flag, for example. So we start to map, and each one of the 500 songs, I start to put a flag on it. And what do we have? My feeling for the 500 songs, 85% the red flag. So I'm talking about 427 songs that made me sad, that made me, I don't want to leave. I want to be in my bedroom right now. And 63 yellow flag. So okay, but we're talking about 98% of the songs that is not bring me happiness. I don't want to dance. I don't want to, I don't know. So only 2% of the songs that bring me something that motivates me to create something different. And as we're talking about plays, we're talking about 28 billion plays, and 74% we're talking about, or 20.9 billion plays, the red flag ones. 22%, 6.1 billion songs, the yellow one, and just 4%, 1 billion plays, the green flag. So, okay, that is for me the first picture of the world that I have. Talking about only Spotify. I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm not talking about all the streaming platforms, only Spotify. So I'm talking about a lot of people consuming and this song. So, okay, we have this picture. And as the band start releasing their material, their own material, some fans start to appear. So we're talking about Instagram fans, we're talking about Twitter fans, and they start a great interaction with a lot of fans. And we're talking about at least 100 true fans that the band had at that point. So from a lot of nationalities, we're talking about Brazilians, we're talking about people from Turkey, UK, Australia, Italia, Peru, Canada, the USA, and Mexico. So we're talking about 100 people. I start to, okay, let's check out, what about this persona? Who is this persona? So we're talking about mainly girls from 13 to 16. And as they start to interact with the band, they start to talking about themselves. They're talking about problems with family, and they're talking about a lot of sadness that they have. So led us to think that we have a lot of depression trends working on helping there, and a lot of them start sending pictures of self mutilation. So it was very shocking to me, but it was very powerful to me that something was going on, and this is something that I cannot just pretend that I'm not seeing that. So that's picture number two. And in 2019 September, I went to and I met Vinicius, my partner here in this park. He invited me there to be in workshop him plugging into the show, and he was very interested about band and how to help the band to get into the USA. So he started helping me, and one thing that he brought to the table was his Vinny as Indie Connect. He had a program called the PSA program that is called the Virtual. There is a company in the US that is partnered with Vinny, and they had a program that is a program against bullying. So you have the GAP, the Generation Against Bullying, and it has Gooseberry Planet in the UK. They are creating a movement in the US, in Canada, and UK school tour. We're talking about 10,000 schools, and they invited the band to be part of this project. So there's picture number 3. So we talked about the mapping of the songs, the red flags. We're talking about the people, the fans that the band had, and we're talking about bullying now in the USA. So it's a very strong message that it was brought to me at this point. So I figured out that the world was completely sick, and I was talking about the pre-virus analysis. So something was going on, and a lot of people was yelling for help. They need help, they're sad, and something brought me to this game and make perfect sense to me. And that's when I created a company called RoboOne, RVR1, here in Brazil. And RoboOne, I brought something that, okay, we need to do something. People need help, and I cannot help everybody without having people with me, without having experts with me. So knowing that every talent deserves a chance, and we can have a lot of platforms that allows people to have their chance to show, and we created RoboOne. And what is RoboOne? There's a lot of products. We have by Patty that I'll talk. We have Studio Zig. We have Dukes. We have Voss, and we have this environment here is the Spark. And I started thinking, are we ready for the next step? So we need to figure out what the next step is. So I brought into the table, on the table right now in front of me, everything that I've learned for the last 20 years. So I need to create some using methodology to do this. So first of all, what I did, I had to design the future. I have to set goals for me. What goals do I have? How each one of this project, how I can make this turn into reality. For this, I have to understand the problems. What kind of problems do we have? What kind of needs the world have? What kind of pains are we talking about? So with the problems, we need to have how to do it. We need the know-how. We need to make these problems into some solutions. And to have this know-how, we can acquire knowledge. So you can study a lot. You can look for more things for you to learn, and a lot of courses. So that is amazing. But you also need to connect with people, with the right people who have complementary knowledge and skills that you don't. Because I spent the last 20 years learning a lot of things, having a lot of pains, having a lot of understanding about the future and about how people works. Not everybody, but at the same time, I had millions of people learning different things. So how about we to bring more people to work with us? So that's the point about creating something new. So you need to bring people with different knowledge inside your project, and you have to act. You have to go and do it. So that's when you start to make things happen. And for example, by Patty is a great musician, keyboard player that is living in Mexico right now, and he's amazing about singing powerful songs. It's amazing doing that.
Speaker.
And when he started to create songs,
I'm
we
gonna
figure
leave.
out, okay, we need
I'm gonna
to
leave.
bring. We cannot. He cannot do this by himself. We need artists with us. We need singers with us. So we start connecting with people from Germany, from Belgium, from Mexico, from all over the place. So this is how we're building this and showing the power of music and providing opportunities for artists all over the place. So for this, we brought music experts, we brought video experts, and we brought marketing experts to help with us. So that's what that we're building right now. The second one, Dukes. So Dukes is a guide in Latin. So what Dukes is a platform for soccer, because we have at least 13,000 great soccer players per year that is missing some opportunities here in Brazil. So we're talking about a huge market here in Brazil, and a lot of people needs that. They have a gift. They need to do something. And during their life, as they don't have the opportunity, the right opportunity, they start to uh, forget about their dreams and start doing other things to bring money home. And what is Dukes? Dukes is a scientific methodology for evaluation and development of soccer athletes that we have here in Brazil. And for this, we have to bring to this project soccer experts. We're talking about uh, coaches. We're talking about attorneys. We're talking about specialties into the soccer world, and also technology experts. So that is something that bring me the power of collaboration. So we also created VOS. What is VOS? VOS is you in Latin, because when I have that contact with Vinny and the GAB, Generation Against Bullying in the USA, or start to develop with them a product to bring that to Brazil. But we could not bring as a bullying, because bullying is not the most aggressive problem that we have in Brazil. And we couldn't put a spotlight on it. And we start to create with VOS, an individual development program for students through soft skills. And what is that? We connected to this environment with Gilbert Planet in the UK, with Generation Against Bullet and Virtual in Canada and the USA. And we are activating right now VOS in Brazil, that we have a goal of 30 million students by 2025-26, and in 2023 we'll activate VOS Mexico, that will reach our goal is to reach 15 million students in Mexico by 2028. So creating this, how we're going to create this? We need to offer to those students a lot of different soft skills. So we're talking about sports, we're talking about music, we're talking about acting, we're talking about dance, arts, cooking, and with all the soft skills that we offer can start trigger a lot of good things inside the students' heads, and they start to create something great for their life. And so I cannot do that by myself. I'm not a music expert. I'm not a sport expert. I cannot dance. Actually, here I can in this park, but I'm not a dancer. So we had to bring next to us also a lot of experts with different skills that we don't have. So we're talking about even about emotional intelligence expert that we bring into helping the teachers how to deal with emotions here within this program. So it was amazing how we're building something huge here in Brazil, and we'll connect with a lot of people and a lot of students. And we have Studio Zig. What is that? So we're bringing books and animations designed by children. So we have children that have in their minds their story that they want to tell about the some imagination that they have, and we try to transform it into books to children, into animation to children. So it's children talking to children. So that is a great thing that we're working right now too. So we needed to we're bringing writing experts, education experts, animation experts. So it's a whole world, a whole universe on it. And As RoboOne, we have this forefront that is opportunities platforms that we need experts. But how I could define expert? Expert for me is that person that can add a lot of things into, add a lot of knowledge into this universe that you're creating. And oh, and here we have three important things that we need to think about one expert. They need to have solid values. They need to have specific knowledge, and they need to work hard and have discipline to make it happen. So this diagram, we have that the first step for the success. You will have, you already took the first step. So you're talking about this triangle that you can make it happen, but isolated, you cannot. Alone, we're not strong enough to move to make it happen. So that is why, and we need to create a system that bring everybody together. So we're talking about here, it's just a diagram. 11 experts, can be 20, can be 10, can be 2. I don't know. It depends on the size of your goal. But when you have to reach your goal, you have everybody aligned for that goal. You have the second step for the success. So, but this is critical that for you to be into a system, an environment that it has no vanity, no ego, and respect. So with this, you can move the world, you can move mountains, you can create a whole universe of possibilities. So that is the beauty of the collaboration. So you don't need to know everything, and just to need to find the right people for this. And this, as RoboOne, I had an honor to be part of this project too, so we can bring this into a smart, fun, and different platform as a Spark, because we can connect people. We have no distance between everybody. We can use it here in a right way, in a fun way, to make it happen. So by Patty, okay, let's connect musicians, and let's connect singers, and let's connect Patty with all events from all over the place. So it's cheap for us to do that. As we're talking about Germany, Canada, USA, Mexico, Brazil. So it is easy for you to connect in a fun way, not in the looking at the screen and looking at something. You can interact, you can engage people doing that. Dukes, of course, can bring a lot of professional from sports, from soccer here. Voss, a lot of teachers, all the students. So the sky is the limit. And Zig, the same thing. So we create an environment that allows us to bring people together and to collaborate. And here, how much knowledge can we gather in a single agreement? So for me, it's an honor to be part of this. And we're talking about at least here 100 years of knowledge and of experts of different skills from different markets, who lives different, who have different pains all over the world, all over their lives, and they have their abilities to make things happen. So into one agreement, we can have amazing team and with amazing collaborative environment. So we're talking about Vinny Ribas, we're talking about here Will Carter, and talking about Tony Bodo and myself, that we're bringing together a lot of things that we can add to each other. We don't need to be worried about knowing everything. So we don't need that. We don't need to bring it to the table and discuss and bring something that makes sense for everybody and makes sense to our goal to reach a lot of people and to help a lot of people to create their perfect environment and their business and make the business go more profitable. And what are you waiting for? We don't need to know everything. That is very important because a lot of people think that they need to, oh, I need to do that course, I need to have that degree, the second one, the third one. So it is important for you to specialize what you're good at. But we don't need to know everything. Actually, it's impossible to know everything. We only need to find people who know what we don't. And we don't need to know everything. And let's connect people and knowledge all over. So that's our goal. Let's connect, let's create this perfect environment to connect people. And just to finalize that, everyone has a superpower. Everyone of us have a specific one superpower. And we need to believe in collaboration. And here in Spark is the place for us to start doing that and ignite our creativity. So that's pretty much I'd like to bring to all of you. And I'd like to thank you a lot for being part of this. Thank you.